Hello SAT friends, and welcome to question number 10 in a series of SAT questions, practice questions. Let's look at this one. Let's see what it says. This is our first one, I believe, that is not multiple choice. So sometimes they'll do that on the SAT. They will have these kind of free response type questions where you have to figure out the answer yourself. You don't have any answers to look at for a basis of what your answers might be. So let's see what we got here. It says on the number line above, there are 4 equal intervals between 0 and 1. What is the positive value of y? So if these are equal intervals between 0 and 1, that means this would be 1/4 right there. This would be 2/4 or 1/2. And this would be 3/4. So they're pointing at this spot right here on the number line and saying that spot is also the same as y squared minus 6. Therefore, I can say that this equals this. I can say that a y squared minus 6 must equal 1/4. And from there, I'm trying to solve for y, trying to figure out what y equals. And what's the positive value, it says. So if there's a negative part to this, I can disregard that part. If I add 6 to both sides, that will cancel. And I'm left with y squared equals 1/4 plus 6, but we can't write it as 6 and 1/4 like that. Well, we could write it as a mixed number, but that's not going to help us solve for y as easily or as nicely as it would if we were to write this as a fraction. So as an improper fraction, let's write it like this. I can think of this as 6 over 1, and I can multiply both the top and the bottom by 4. So I have times 4 over 4, and that would be the same thing then as 24 over 4. Now that I have a common denominator, I can put those two things together, and I'm going to have 4 on the bottom and 1 plus 4, 24 on the top, 25. From there, take the square root of both sides. The square root and square here would cancel, and you'd have y equals, it's plus or minus this, but you can think of this as a square root of 25 over the square root of 4. That's a property of radicals, property of square roots there, or any radical power. We can split it up like that, and so we would have plus 5 on the top, and plus or minus 5 on the top, and the square root of 4 would be 2 on the bottom. But now it says, remember, the positive value of y, so we disregard the negative value, and our final answer here, there we go, answer would be positive 5 over 2. And so that's it. That's it for that one. You could plug that back in to verify your answer. But 5 over 2 is the answer.